I'm going to talk today about the fact that the Department of Health and Human Services have announced that after 30 days of public commentary, the rule of conscience law or regulation that Bush got passed in his waning days in office are going to be rescinded by the present administration. That means that providers, doctors, nurses who have been able to refuse to perform abortions because of their beliefs, their conscience, will now be forced to perform them or lose, like Catholic hospitals are threatened with losing their obstetrical services. And of course this has gotten, the very prospect of this has gotten the Catholic Church very upset, and they have gone on record as saying that they will close their hospitals before they will do abortions. And the prospect of losing their obstetrical services to women is also very upsetting to them. So what I'm asking is, why? Why do people who believe in abortion, pro-choice, say that they more than 1 million abortions a year in the United States, possibly a lot more, but at least 1 million, is too many, but yet if there's anything that's going to threaten abortion or cut down on abortion, they're against it. Well, what? Totally against it. Well, what kind of message is this sending? The Catholic Church has been fighting abortion, according to a spokesman that I read, an official spokesman, has been fighting abortion since the 3rd century. And so now what? Roe versus Wade brought legalized abortion to the United States, and many disagreed with how it was done. The fact that the Supreme Court was responsible for doing this, which many thought that they were interfering, by bringing such a change in our society. The Supreme Court was not designed to do that. We had limitations on abortion in this country forever, and then suddenly the Supreme Court is responsible. So there's many people who don't think that was right. So here we have an administration coming in, and again we see what this two-party, well, if you're going to be, the Republicans, if you're going to believe that way, we're going to be the opposite, and we're never ever going to see your point of view. We're never ever going to concede anything to your beliefs. Well, is this good for our country? What I'm saying, here we are in the worst possible mess financially that we have been in forever that I can remember. I don't even remember the Depression because I was born in the year of the Depression, so all I remember is people saying, well, cattle prices were rock bottom, but we were living on the farm, so we didn't feel anything because we could always eat. Well, here we are, and yet we have people who are not going to allow a single restriction to threaten abortion. Well, true, the times are very, very hard. I don't think anybody's going to push to try to overturn Roe versus Wade. They're not going to be able to do it right now. But to try to rescind, push people whose beliefs are in conflict, like the Catholic Church, to try to penalize them, to try to force them to, change their beliefs? I mean, the Democrats aren't going to change Catholic beliefs. Now, that is not possible. So what are we going to have? We're going to have terrible conflict here. We're going to have upset. So they have said that for 30 days we can comment. So I wrote in my blog, I have discussed this in my blog, and I'm discussing it here on YouTube. I have sent the contents of my blog to the Obama administration and to be directed to the Department of Health. They haven't even got a Secretary of Health yet, but they're going to go ahead and get this taken care of as soon as possible. Well, I say extremists on either side cause upset feelings. No compromise. No compromise with this belief. I've been a pro-life believer for many years, and I have heard all the arguments coming from abortion advocates of why we need this, and I have conceded many of their concerns about what's going to happen to children born into poverty when the people aren't ready for them. But, you know, when a procedure to restrain requires bloodshed and the killing of the human being in the early stages, that's never going to seem right to a lot of people. Others may be able to dismiss this aspect of abortion, but there's some who won't be able to dismiss it. And they're not going to be forced by somebody else to dismiss it. So what do you get? You just get conflict. You just get upset when you try to push people too far when it comes to something like this. Like Bush. I was so upset when Bush declared war without, I thought, enough proof on Iraq. And this upset a lot of people. They could go with the war in Afghanistan trying to get bin Laden, but to decide to take care of Iraq and Saddam Hussein at the same time just seemed way too much. And Bush never got out of trouble for making that decision. It was going to the extreme. It was fighting two wars, and it helped bankrupt our country. And it was going to do it, we could say before, because war is expensive. Well, the same with trying to push the agenda of abortion when there's too many people opposed. You will get upset. You will get. And so that's what I'm going to do, is write my protests to the Department of Health, and I urge everyone else who has feelings about this issue to write to the Department of Health and Human Services in care of Obama, because I know Obama is very concerned. His direction, and he has made promises before his election that he will do this. So I'm hoping that you will all make yourselves felt with whatever you think about this issue.